This is Lori. How may I help you?
This is an emergency. It sounded pretty easy, but now I'm in a world of hurt here. I'm not done with my issues. Sorry. I am having epic failure making rolls.
Oh, no. Why? What's happening?
Well, I think it's probably a lot of things. I've never done them before.
I have a question about a glaze I want to put on top of a lemon bread, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was mixing things I shouldn't be mixing.
Baker's Hotline. This is Bethany.
Hi, this is Barb. How can I help you?
Baker's Hotline, this is David. How can I help you?
I have a question about the naturally leavened sourdough bread.
So after you knead it and you have like a nice bouncy sort of elastic, slightly tacky ball,
then you stop the mixer and try to pull a piece away if it's ready.
Should you mix the flour and stuff where they whisk?
Yeah, that should be just fine.
Tragedy averted. Where are you located?
In Vermont. Baker's Hotline. This is Maggie. How may I help you?
Hi, I am baking Muddy Buddies, and it says 1 and 1.5. What does that mean?
So you're going to fill up the 1 cup all the way to the top and then level it off. And then you're going to find your half cup and you're going to fill that up and level it off.
Thank you.
Working on the Baker's Hotline is a little bit like triaging baking questions.
We don't recommend covering them with a towel just because that lets too much air in and the dough dries out. So cover it with like sprayed plastic wrap, the pan.
You know, why did the bread not rise? Or, you know, why did my cookie spread?
This is the busiest time of year. Right before Thanksgiving, it's super busy, and then into Christmas.
That little tiny bit.
Of course, around Easter and Valentine's Day, the 4th of July, because a lot of people will be making hamburger buns and pies.
I typically will put a pie in the bottom third of the oven because I like the heat to come from the bottom for the most part. But if a lot of times we get people who are like, oh my gosh, I found this number on a flour bag in the grocery store, and you're real people. I didn't really think this was a real thing.
Working in kitchens and bakeries, it's very isolating. Especially baking. I'd wake up at 2 and be the only person in the bakery for hours.
I realized that maybe production baking wasn't going to be the best career choice. So I moved over to the Baker's Hotline. We get a huge variety of calls. A young man called me once from the grocery store, and he was like, yo, how do I make bread?
Lightning hit it. Okay. Oh, wow. Her stove was struck by lightning twice. And there was a woman who called, and she had a baby crying in the background, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to go to a party, and I need to bring cornbread, but I don't have any dairy. She's like, so I was thinking, can I use my breast milk?
I just try and put them at ease and, you know, make it fun.
That's perfect. That should take care of it. Yep.
Sometimes people get really stressed out about baking, and it's like, it's just fun. The worst that can happen is you burn it completely.
Just wanted to make sure I have enough starter to do all the things that I want to do because I'm having great fun with it all.
It's trying to find the human connection for me to like be like, we're equal here. Like there's no judgment. Hey, practice makes perfect. You'll get there. Absolutely. To me, the question is like, why wouldn't you have a hotline? You're a baking company.
There's a lot of elderly people that call. They're often isolated, and they're baking partly just to keep active and mentally fit.
I am a home cook at 89. I'm a widow.
And you're still baking?
I still am.
I really admire those people. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
This is Lori. How may I help you?
Good morning, Lori. My name is Mark Milius. I'm calling you from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Katie. How can I help?
This is Mark Milius, and I'm calling you from Appleton, Wisconsin.
This is Maggie. How may I help you?
Hi, Maggie. This is Mark Milius calling from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Hey.
I'm going to come at you with a kind of an out-of-the-box question.
We like out of the box. You're always out of the box part.
Hey.
Last winter, I obtained a sample of a rare flower called Autumn Rouge Barbeau. My question that prompted my call today is that I want to bring in some inclusions. For example, I have my master's and doctorate degrees in organic chemistry of carbohydrates. So for me, when I'm making bread and I'm swelling the bread, letting it rise, it's just applied chemistry. Flour is starch, and starch is a alpha-linked 1,4-poly-D-glucan. About what weight percentage or baker's percentage can I go up to without endangering the dough itself, interfering with the development of gluten and strength?
I would try to keep it under 20%. 20% is probably really high.
I just lost my mom about a year ago. My mother was one of my very best friends. We made bread together, and she taught me a little bit about this and a little bit about that. And it was kind of like she was planting seeds. I talked to her once or twice a day. And, all of a sudden one day she wasn't there to answer the phone anymore, and I missed her. Making bread was a way of making peace with her passing. So as I'm kneading my bread or mixing the dough, I just close my eyes and I can picture my mom. The Baker's Hotline is my friend. I can call them and I can talk to a real person with baking experience that isn't going to laugh at me. I want success. I want positive things. And that's the way to get it.
Sometimes we'll get people who just want to talk to someone.
I have celiac disease, so I buy the gluten-free banana bread muffin mix.
And so they'd call and they'd talk to us.
I'm 80 years old, and I live alone. I try to give them away, but I don't really know that many people.
Do you think most people are just craving connection?
Oh, yeah. I think everyone is, aren't we? Even us. Sometimes you don't want to get off the phone with people. You're having such a great time talking to them.
Hey Siri, call King Arthur Flour.
Calling King Arthur Flour. Baker's Hotline, this is David. How can I help you?
Hi David, it's me, it's Lady. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lottie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm making almond galette. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes, I am.
I don't think I got interested in baking until COVID. I just remember becoming aware of sourdough bread, how it's naturally fermented and how that's good for your guts.
During the pandemic, sourdough just went ballistic. People were feeling isolated. You were more than just talking to them about baking. You were another human voice.
Every single call, night after night after night, would be 4 hours straight of sourdough talk.
Sourdough is very personal. So they'll tell you about how they got their starter and how they fed their starter and what they call their starter and their little routine with their starter and how their starter is now having trouble.
so special to have people that we can connect to. Gosh, I'm getting all emotional. We've come out of this pandemic where we weren't seeing each other much. Now we order everything online. There's a lot more time where you're by yourself. I am very social, so that's hard for me. I like interacting with people. I tell them, and I feel like it just made me, it saved me, you know?
I'm looking at the photograph, and it's this beautiful, like, form kind of thing. Is that freehand?
Traditionally, you do hand carve them. That looks like either that person has a really steady hand or a template of some kind.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. At my age, I feel like my job in the world is just to be kind and helpful. It's not just about the baking, it's about communities and making people's lives better. And I get to do that every day.
You get to be on the edge of somebody's life. I just picture somebody telling a story like 10 years from now of like, oh, I had to make this wedding cake and I totally screwed it up, and then I called this person and they fixed it, and now I know how to make buttercream.
It's a meditation on love, right? Because you are putting time, you're putting effort, and you're giving that to someone, whether it is a celebration or an apology. All of these emotions come into this one realm of food.
I rely on you guys heavily, and thank you for being there. I figured nobody would answer because it was a holiday weekend.
We're just wrapping up, so you caught us right before we closed.
Fun fact, first time I entered the pie contest at the sandwich fair, the very first time, I won Best in Show. So I may be an amateur baker, but I'm a good one.
Of all the things you could have left out, you left out the best thing, so. Oh, you make me feel so good. Thank you. That's what you're there for. You're the baker and you're the therapist.